We have seen Python lists and tuples store multiple values in a single variable, but what if we want to store data in a more organized way, easy to access? In that case, we will use Python dictionaries. Hello everyone, my name is Ankur and welcome back to our series on Python basics. And in this video, we'll see Python dictionaries in detail. In a Python list, the values are indexed by numbers. They start from 0 and go all the way to length of the list minus 1. But in a Python dictionary, the values are not indexed by numbers. They are indexed by keys. A key in a dictionary can be any immutable value like number, string, or a tuple. And we need to make sure the values inside the tuple are also numbers, strings, or tuples. So any immutable type can be a dictionary key. But the one thing to keep in mind is the keys are not null, so you cannot have a null key, but you can have the null values. Okay, so they are not null, but a value can be null. Okay, so things to keep in mind: in order to declare a dictionary, you use curly brackets and key value pairs separated by a comma. So if you have another key value pair, you can just separate it by the comma. So let's move on to our IDE. So in order to create a dictionary, what you can do, you can just take a variable and do give curly braces. So now you have created a dictionary. If you want to double check, you can just print the type of this variable x. As you can see, it is of type dictionary, so we have created an empty dictionary here. Alright, if you want to add a value to a dictionary, you can just add it as a key value pair. Let's say you want to add a key 1 and its value as banana. So if you print your dictionary now, you will see in the curly braces you are printing key value pairs, and if it has multiple values, it will just give them as comma separated values. As you can see, two key value pairs are here. One is banana and two, for key 2 it's orange. So here we saw all the values are strings and the keys are integers, right? But that is not a case. You can also create mixed keys. What I mean by that is, if I want to say create a key called favorite, it's a string, and I assign it a value as apple, right? As you can see, this is also a valid dictionary. So now you have three keys, 1, 2 and favorite, and all the values are strings, right? You can also put empty values. Let's say I create a key 3 and I give it a empty value. Alright, if I try to print my list now, you can see here the key value pair key 3 has empty value. So values can be empty, but keys cannot be empty. If I try to, in order to prove that, if I just try to give an empty key, you will see there is an error here. If I try to run my program now, you get a syntax error, right? So it's an invalid syntax. You cannot have empty keys in a dictionary. You can also create a dictionary using the constructor of the dictionary class. So we'll discuss about classes later, but you can just say the keyword dict. Okay, so it is actually a dictionary. If I hover over it, you can see here, right? Class dictionary. So it's a constructor, so you can provide your key values pair to it. In order to do that, you can just give it in double quotes, let's say 1 comma. All right, so this is also a valid dictionary. If I just print m, you can see we have created our dictionary. You can also double check if it is a dictionary using the type function. All right, it's a dictionary. So there is one more way in which you can create a dictionary. So if you don't understand constructors, don't worry about it. So once we go to object oriented programming, or we see how to generate classes, you will know what is a constructor. Let's say we have a dictionary student. It has keys, name, city, age, and result, and corresponding values. If you want to access any of these values, you can use the key. So what I can do, I can just use print student name. You just give your key in the square brackets, and if I run my program now, you can see the value is printed. Similarly, you can access other values as well. If you want to access city, if you want to access age, and so on, you can see you are able to access each value using the key in the square brackets. But what if we want to access a key that is not present? So if key is not present and if we want to access it, let's see what happens. If I run my program, you can see there is a key error because the key is not present. So we are not able to access a key called country. So in such cases, the best practice to access any value in a dictionary is to use a get method. So there is an inbuilt method for the dictionaries. It's called get. And if I try to do, I'll just comment this one out. And if I try to access a key which is not there, we won't have any error, right? It just returned none. So it doesn't crash the application, right? If such thing happens in real time and you are trying to access something that is not there, you can actually crash your applications. But in this case, you saw your application is still running fine, there is no error. So even the valid keys you can access using this method, get method. It's not just the invalid key, right? As you can see, get name has printed Jack here. So if you want to update any value, we saw if you want to basically add any new key value pair, right? You can just mention in the square brackets the key value, and after the equal to operator you can mention the value. So what this will do, this will add a new key value pair to your dictionary, right? So if I just run my program now, you can see we have added a new key value pair, that is country USA, right? But there is a way to update an existing key value pair. It's similar to creating, but what you will do, the syntax is exactly the same. So here I've used the same syntax that is used to create, but I have just changed the value. So what it will do, it will just change the value that is associated to this key to UK. If I run my program now, you will see our dictionary has updated the country keys value to UK. from US, right? Earlier it was USA, now it's UK. So if you want to remove any value from your dictionary, right, how you can do that? All right, dictionary. So you can use the pop function. All right, how you can use that? You can just say student dot pop country. What this will do, it will delete this key value. You will just provide the key as the argument and it will remove the key value pair. All right, so if I just print my dictionary now, you can see we have removed the country key value pair. All right, earlier it was there, but with the help of pop function on line 19 we have actually removed it. So there is one another way to remove key value pair. It's called del. Del is the inbuilt function in Python, so you can use it to delete a key value pair. So if I try to remove the city key value pair now using the del function, so you can see we have even reduced the dictionary to 3 key value pairs only. The city has been removed, so it was here. So one thing to notice and keep a note of the dictionary. So in a dictionary, the value of insertion of the key value pair is not maintained. Like in list, if you are appending a new element to a list, you actually add it at the end of the list, right? You don't add it in between the list using the append function. But in a dictionary, whatever you add, right, it's added at a random place. So if you print a dictionary again and again, you will see different results. So don't worry if you see different results. It's just that the order is not maintained in a dictionary. So if you need to maintain the order, it's a better way to use the list in that case. Okay, so you can also try to remove all the elements from the dictionary. What you can do, you can give your dictionary name and use the clear method. Okay, if I just run it now and try to print my dictionary again, you can see all the elements have been removed, right? But if you want to delete the dictionary itself, you can just use del again and your dictionary, and if you try to print it now, as you can see there is an error, student is not defined, because we have deleted the dictionary, empty dictionary itself, right? So there is nothing to show. Just like other data types, Python dictionaries also have some inbuilt functions that we can perform. If you want to check the length of a dictionary, you can just use the inbuilt length function. It will return you the length of the key value pairs in the dictionary. So we have 4 key value pairs here: name, city, age and result. So it has returned 4 to us. You can also convert your dictionary to a string to make it a more printable format. So you can use str function and provide your dictionary to it. So it will convert it to a string. I'll store it in a variable called x. So let's just run our program. So this is the string that is printed, right? But how do you know it's a string? We will check the type of this variable. So you can see it is a string, right? So here we are printing x. If you want to create a copy of your dictionary, you can use the inbuilt copy function. So let's say I want to create student2 from student. So I will just say student.copy. It will create a new dictionary in the variable student2. So if I just print student2, you can see it has printed the same value as the student dictionary, because we have used the copy function here, right? One thing to notice here, if you want to change any value for student 1 here, let's say you want to change the city, right? Let's say city I want to change to Delhi, right? So now the value will be changed for student 1 but not for student 2. Okay, let's see it in action and just comment this one out. So now I'm printing the original student. I have changed its value on line 13, and then after that I'm printing the copied student. As you can see, the original student, we have changed its city value to Delhi, and the copied one remains London, right? And vice versa is also true, right? If you try to change any value in student 2, so it won't affect the student 1. So this is a very good way if you don't want to change your original input and you want to perform some operation on the data, right? You can also use for loop to iterate through a dictionary. You can use for loop similarly for kv, key value, in student.items. So the items function will return you the key value pairs in these two variables, right? And if I just try to print here, let's say key is k, value is v. Okay, so I'll use the f strings. So now if I run my program, you are able to print the key value pairs separately, right? We have fetched it from the dictionary and we are able to manipulate them or use them as separate variables. So there is one more way to run a for loop on a dictionary that is also very common. If you just want to print the keys, right, you can use a inbuilt keys function. So this will return a list of keys and then you just print them one by one, right, or access them one by one. I'll just comment out the other one. Okay, let it be. I'll just run it. You can see you are able to access all the keys. As you might have guessed, you might have guessed there is also a values function. So this will just return a list of values, and then you can just iterate through the value list and print it one by one. Alright, so this is the dictionary for you guys, and I have created some exercises that you can try to solve yourself. I will paste a link for this one in the description of the video. Try to solve them one by one. If you are not able to do it in half an hour, let's say you are taking a lot of time, just see its solution on ChatGPT and try to do it again after seeing the solution, right? Take a 10-minute break and try to do it again. So that's all for Python dictionary. Today we saw what is a Python dictionary, how to create a dictionary, how to access its elements, how to delete from the dictionary, and also how to update an existing key value pair, right? So we also saw that the dictionaries are immutable, the keys cannot be empty, cannot be null, and the values can be null, and also the order is not maintained in a dictionary. So these are some key points. So that's all for today's video, and if you understood what is a dictionary, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.